Hey everyone, I'm Mark Stephen Pooler, the Global Profile Builder. I am a fun, loving, and focused PR expert, and I support high profile, high value individuals to be seen, heard, and get noticed with worldwide digital media to become known globally. And today I have a wonderful guest who I'm looking forward to having a great conversation with. Today I'm having a conversation with Luca Senatore. Luca is a growth entrepreneur, CEO of Genie Goals, a top 3% marketing agency. Luca is an author, speaker and founder of SAM Mentoring Program, a business high impact coaching program that helps agencies and coaches grow their income so that they can grow their impact. So I am going to bring Luca into the broadcast. Luca, welcome. I'm really looking forward to a conversation with you today.
Mark, hi, happy Monday. Yeah, same here.
Happy Monday. So, Luca, I want to learn a lot about you today, but before we go into what you do now, I know that you don't come from the best of paths. I know you have had struggles from the beginning of your journey. Can you just share a little bit of your background, the struggles you have been through?
Of course, sure. I'm sure that many people share some of these and perhaps even more dramatic. But I grew up in a family that perhaps wasn't the most functional. Very poor. My father left when I was very little, which was a blessing because he was a very nice man. But he left my mom and I with lots of debt. And back then in Italy, it was very unusual to be a single parent. Nonetheless, a woman needing to work. It was very hard. So my mom did all she could, but it was hard. So I had to go to work when I was 13, bending metal for the building trade. And then eventually we managed to pay the debt. And I have decided eventually to leave the country and come to the UK. And the reason really was that I wanted to expand my opportunities and my possibilities. I landed in Cambridge, UK with about £65. For the American friends, it's about $80 in my pocket and no English language skills whatsoever. So I was fired actually from a kitchen porter role the first day because I couldn't understand what they wanted me to do. So I remember the story of the end of that shift when I could understand they were like, go home, go home. And I thought, my goodness, they're cutting me some slack. They see how hard I was working. But what they really meant was go home, don't come back. You can't work here. And slowly I dedicated myself to learning English. Then I did. And then I started learning affiliate marketing and marketing in general, really. And then I started opening businesses, agencies, marketing agencies. Then I opened a couple of shops and eventually I was able to really find my passion again, which was again that of doing marketing in the context of helping people grow their income so that they can grow their impact. Nothing wrong with luxuries, but I think our primary motive is to help people make more income so that they can have more time to spend with their families and then contribute to making the world a better place. So that's my life condensed in 5 minutes.
So I can relate to a lot of things there, Luca, and I know there'll be many people watching who have been through those challenges as well. Debt. Now, at one point, I was in over £30,000 worth of debt, and that led to me having to sell my home that I had brought because I was going to bed at night worrying about bills and how I was going to cover them, having a 3 bedroom semi-detached house on my own and worrying about bills. And I really believe to build abundance, it's so much easier when you haven't got debt over your head that you're struggling with. I would like to know, you are so resilient coming to a country, and that is what really stood out about your story to me. you came into England not being able to speak English, and as you mentioned, that's quite a story that you had a job and they told you to go home because you couldn't understand what they were saying. Where do you get your resilience from, Luca? And do you believe because of your challenges in the past that has given you the resilience you have today?
Yeah, yes and no, because Mark, you can make the argument that, you come from challenging upbringing and that gives you what you need. But you could also argue that you come from very stable upbringing and that gives you the role model that you need. It isn't what you have or what life gives you, is what you do with it, right? People often make the mistake of thinking of resilience and willpower as things that you are born with. They're not inborn. They are developed much like any skill, much like any muscle. If you work it, they'll develop, they become strong and support you. If you don't, they atrophize and they become painful, perhaps. It's like anything. So no, I don't want to claim it on my upbringing. I don't want to. It's just really what you do with it. And I think for me, the one thing that happened that perhaps was unexpected was the fact that not having a role model, it gave me the opportunity to choose my own role models, right? So I've chosen, when I was little, I chosen Bruce Lee and Superman. And they showed resilience. They showed, this unwillingness to give up. And I guess, you go by what you know. And the more you are influenced by people of a certain kind, and the more you tend to decide to make decisions similar to the ones that they would make. So I think it really is what you do with what you have rather than what you have. So for anybody out there, I don't want anybody that comes from a good background to think, oh, then I'm doomed. No, not at all. And equally, I don't want people that feel perhaps helpless at times. That you don't have that resilience, you don't have the willpower. It's okay. You can develop it, you work it, and you don't go from zero to hero with anything. So if you are really in a position where the willpower is non-existent, you can't even get out of bed, then start from there. Start from getting out of bed. If the biggest goal you can achieve today is to make your bed, then make your bed. Just go from there. Don't compare yourself to me or to anybody else, because comparison is the enemy of progress, right? Compare yourself today to yourself yesterday. And just baby steps towards where you want to go. Rome wasn't built in a day, neither are we. So
great words of wisdom there, Luca, and I totally agree with all the points you've made. And I like the fact that you're not saying because you come from a bad past that's giving you the resilience today. I like the fact that you don't want to misinclude anyone as well. And I also agree that when you compare yourself to others, that can be dangerous. I always say, when looking at others, look for inspiration and to see the good, that how you can improve, rather than comparing yourself and feeling jealous or envy, because that definitely does hold you back on your journey. So some great words of wisdom there. Now, you support agencies and businesses, entrepreneurs. Can you share what are some of the struggles that agencies go through, Luca, that you know about?
yes, for sure. I mean, we in the mentoring program, which I guess is what we're talking about here, we support mainly agencies and coaches. And the reason is that I built agencies, including a Google Award winning that made it to 7 figures. And I've been doing coaching for 20 years. It's these two industries that we understand very well. And surprisingly, the challenges are really the same. The challenges are to do with building a business that can be profitable. So a business that is capable of driving sales profitably, and a business that is capable of doing these things without taking up 20 hours a day, right? Because I remember I built 8 businesses and the first 4 almost killed me, right? And my relationships, because I was spending all my time killing fires and doing all the things that perhaps I shouldn't have been doing, somebody else should have been doing, or maybe some of the things that nobody should have been doing in the first place. And so you work 18-hour days, and then of course, you are not doing the things that you're good at. you're doing everything else, which means that the things that you're good at, you're not doing. The business suffers. So you end up between a rock and a hard place. And I understand that because I've been there. And so we help agencies and coaches scale to 6 or 7 figures without having to work 20 hours a day, using systems, processes, using teams, using delegation and automation, using very effective strategies to market. When we tell people that we convert about 70% of our sales meetings, they think we are masters of selling. We're not. We don't even sell, actually. It's just that we talk to such a specific target market with such a specific message, then there's an obvious fit. So we don't go after people that we can't help. And so we help agencies and coaches do the same. And the surprising fact is that most agencies and most coaches don't really understand this concept until they start working with a mentor. And when you expose it to them, they feel very excited to try it. And when they try, the results are quite obvious. And again, it doesn't come down to salesmanship. That's got nothing to do with it. It comes down to wanting to solve a real problem for a real person, for your real customers. And I think the size of your success depends on the size of the problem that you're able to solve. And the more specific you are, the easier it is to solve the problem, right? It's a bit like a physiotherapist that specializes on a specific type of injury. That success rate will be much higher than a generalist. So we teach a lot of this stuff. And I love it because what happens is that you don't just change people's businesses, you change people's lives. The amount of messages that I have from people that say that not only have they made more revenue, but actually they spend more time with their kids and their family. And that is something that you cannot put value on. It's absolutely invaluable, and I love it. So that's the reason why we specialize in these two industries.
I think what you have mentioned is great, because if you can solve problems, that is definitely a winning solution. But people, as they get more successful in agencies, like myself, I'm getting very, very busy. It does take up a lot more time. And like you say, Luca, you are doing things that you have to get done, and it takes you away from doing the things that you are good at. So it is really, really great that you're solving these problems for businesses, entrepreneurs and agencies out there. Everyone watching, if you would like to ask Luca a question, type it into the comment section and Luca will come in later to answer any questions. Feel free to share the broadcast to get this to as many people as possible. So, Luca, a lot of people say yes to you. You are helping lots of agencies. What do you feel may be stopping some people out there that need your support from moving forward and getting started with you?
Yeah, I think with us and with other mentors, because I think, the number one element that allowed me to succeed in life is mentors. I wrote a book 2.5 years ago, and I wrote it in 4.5 months, actually less than that. And it's one of the best-selling books because I had somebody helping me who wrote 14 books before me, right? So mentors are incredibly effective because they've been there already, so they can show you the way. And so, if people want to come with us, that's fantastic. But I really don't care. My primary objective in advocating mentorship is for people to get mentors. Whether if it's us, great. If it's not, it doesn't matter, because that will be your enabler. You'll be your shortcut to success without really having to crash quite so much. And what stops people, I think, from choosing a mentor is really the fact, and this is also a minor reason why we started our mentoring program, is the fact that there are many so-called gurus out there who are saying that they are mentors or they are coaches, but they've never actually built anything like what they are promising their customers. And that happens across the board. It happens with fitness, it happens with business, and so on. And that is really, unfortunately, something that can hold people back, because they think, okay, how do I know who's legitimate and who's not? And it's a fantastically fair question. So my advice to those looking for a mentor, number one, do what it's the most obvious thing and the most reliable, yet most people don't do it, which is Google their name. Right? If you Google their name, it's very hard to tell Google things that are not true about you because it takes time for them to rank and so on. So Google their name and see what comes up. Right? When you Google my name, nothing incredibly amazing comes up, but it's all congruent with agencies and coaching. Right? Do the same with whoever you're considering. Ask questions. Don't ask so much for numeric results, because we can show you. We've got a client that joined us 5 weeks ago, and they made $150,000 in the process. If I just show you that, you think we are amazing. You should actually have people, the mentors, give you access to a couple of clients so that you can talk to the clients and ask them the questions that you want to ask. Because of course, the testimonials that you will see, they will be handpicked. So make sure that you have access to some of their clients. And that's it. And then also trust your gut. Your gut, we've lost the ability to follow our instinct. There is a wonderful book, I forget the author, but the book is called Blink. And it's a science really of following your gut. And it's a fantastic piece of work based on the science of intuition to show that intuitive decisions are often way more accurate than thought-through decisions. So, these are the three main things that I would do. Google the person, do some research, ask to speak with some of their clients, and then really trust your gut. If there is no ethical alignment, chances are you can work with somebody who's fantastic, but perhaps you don't get the result. So ethical alignment is important.
You touched on some great points there, Luca, and like you say, some people do inflate what they have achieved, and I think that definitely comes down to having integrity. It doesn't matter how successful you are, you just need to have integrity, because you only need to be a few steps in front of someone to actually coach and mentor them. So you shouldn't have to inflate your achievements. As long as you're a few steps in front, you can coach someone, but you don't have to inflate those achievements. Now, after the break, we're going to take a quick commercial break, Luca. I want to talk a little bit about your product and service, and also the work that you are doing with charity. So we will come back in 50 seconds. And we are back. I am here with Luca Senatore. Now, Luca, we have touched on some great things so far. I would like to just go a little bit more in depth about your product and service and the problems that you solve. Can you share that for us?
Of course. Are we talking about the agency, or are we talking about the mentoring program?
I would like to talk a little bit about the agency first, and then we'll go to the mentoring program.
Yeah, so Ginny Goss is an agency we built now 7 years ago. Initially, our mission was to revolutionize the digital marketing industry, because it was started out of the desire to bring higher quality to the pay-per-click, so Google advertising industry. And we wanted to be innovative. We wanted to tell a story nobody told, which was the story of the agency that actually works as an extension of a client's team. Agency, especially back then, was a dirty word. You talk agencies and brands will run out of the room screaming, "Oh my goodness, help, help." And we wanted to change that. And I think I'm incredibly proud to say that we contributed to doing that. We became a Google top 3% premier partner agency, top 5% in the EMEA region. We won a few awards, and we have done that through really focusing mostly on solving the problem of our customer. We realized that many agencies were trying to fulfill the brief, which was obvious. But perhaps we went a bit deeper, and with us, many other agencies. And we were asking clients, why do we want to do this? How do we know that this is the metric to track and to chase? And so we became a true extension of our customers' thing. So we went from solving marketing problems to solving business problems. And I think that went down very, very well. The agency has grown fantastically. We're about 35 people now, with about 10 native international languages. And now, of course, with the new world, we are a distributed team. We have an office that is beautiful and also empty. So we have developed a remote working structure that works fantastically well, and primarily work with brands, retail brands. So we worked with Calvin Klein, Karl Lagerfeld, Mamas and Papas, and those kind of brands. And very recently, we started working with smaller brands. And the reason why we didn't do it before is because we didn't have the infrastructure to serve smaller clients at an acceptably profitable level. We now can do that. So we've opened up the doors literally a week ago to smaller brands as well.
Can you share a little bit about your coaching program as well?
Of course, the coaching program is called SAM, Secret Agency Mastermind. It's secret because you can't find it online. You need to be invited to be part of it. And the reason behind that is that, so we run a little bit of a research. And it turns out that more than 90% of coaching clients across the industry, so from fitness to business coaching, tend to fail, even with good programs. And so we worked with a behavioral psychologist and trying to understand why that was. One of the main reasons is the fact that when people join a mentoring program, they need to be held accountable. There needs to be a kind of guided step-by-step structure. In essence, a way of working, right? Because there are more than one ways that are valid. There are more than one methods that work. The thing is that if you imagine your life being a circle, and in the circle you put method A, right? Then you have 100% of your time, energy, and focus on that method. The moment you get blinded by the shiny objects, such as, oh, but you should try this, you should try that. How about this other new thing? Then that circle gets filled in with all the other bits. And even if you have 5, now you end up with 20% attention, focus, and energy on each. And that is one of the biggest issues. So we developed a very specific 7-step structure that is based on us having built 8 businesses with it and helped hundreds of businesses. So we came up with something that we know very well, and we guide clients through it. And as part of that, ethical alignment is vital. So we interview every single client to make sure that there is a good fit, to make sure that when they come in, not only do they get us coaching, there's 4 coaches, there's an online program, there's basically a daily coaching call. They can jump on a call every day. But also everybody else in the members, everybody else in the pool is aligned with them, is similar. There are similar type of people that can help each other. So the compounded result is massive. Is massive. You not only get 4 coaches, not only do you get 5 coaching calls, but you get a community of people that are truly like-minded on the same journey to growing their income so that they can grow their impact. Nothing wrong with luxuries. I enjoy some of them myself, but we were born to make the world a better place. And everybody in the program has that mantra. So that really changes the 90% failure rate to a 90% success rate. So that is the main reason why we do it.
And it's great that you have that support with those mentors, but also having the community as well. Success is much easier to build when you are surrounded by people on the same mission as you. Now, can you just share one success story that stands out in your mind, Luca?
Well, I have 2 actually. One is, I'll give you 2 because I want to give you all loads, right? But I'll give you 2. One is an agency that came in and they made it to a good level. I think there were like 8 or 9 people, so quite big. We work with a lot of our clients are one-man band, one-man coaching program, one-man agency. These guys were a bit bigger, and we influenced their bottom line massively in a very short period of time. But also what was beautiful is that they were able to understand now what we call the lovely dream clients. So not only are they making $150,000 more this year, but they're doing it with clients that they really love. Because the truth is that tomorrow morning we all have to wake up and we all have to earn our living. And do it with clients that you love versus doing with clients that you have to work with is a very big difference. So that makes me very proud. And the second one is somebody that is achieving good financial results, but one day he sent me a message saying that because of the program now they spend 3 hours more per day with their daughter. And that sent me to bed with a very big smile. So
Definitely. The fact that you get more time freedom once you have been through the coaching program is absolutely life changing, Luca. Especially the more success you build, you do get more busy. So having that time freedom, but also growing your impact and income, that is totally a great way to start building. Now, I want to touch on a little bit of your success now, Luca. One, I am really impressed by the fact that you have spoke for Google. What have you actually spoken about there?
Google, last time I spoke at Google a few times. The biggest event that I've done was in Dublin at I think it was called the Premier Agency Partner Summit. So I spoke to 400 of the top performing agencies in the world, and it was very humbling. The video is online. And I spoke about the challenges the agencies face and how to overcome them. So I think it's been a while, but I think I based the talk on 4 areas. One was the people. I truly believe in people. I believe that you need to surround yourself with people that you love, and they need to be your friends, not just your colleagues and clients. Our mentoring clients we call them family. These are people that if they call us for anything, we'll go and help as much as we can. I think the second was planning. I truly believe that at the essence of success, that is planning. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail for sure. We developed a methodology taken from the Google and Intel framework called OKRs. It wasn't their own, but they brought it to the awareness of many. And I created mini OKRs, which is the same framework, but it applies to smaller businesses. And from that, then we developed something that we call the Wonderful Week Design, which is a way to plan weekly and daily that almost guarantees you to succeed because it brings a level of consciousness to the actions that you make that is unparalleled. So that was the second pillar. I think the third pillar that I discussed there was the ability to really solve problems. And the fourth one is to be you and to inject what you love in your business. Meaning that at times you hear I believe, slightly fluffy, romantic sentence of find what you love and do that for the rest of your life. The truth, in my opinion, is that it's very hard and unrealistic to do that. Several reasons, because sometimes what you love may not pay the bills. That happens every single time. Secondly, because you may love something today, but you may not love it in 10 years' time. So I think what's easier is to inject what you love in what you do. For example, for a long time, I've done professional martial arts. And I would just talk about it in the context of my business. I would try to correlate the similarities of professional sports and business. And that would allow me to write about sport in the context of our business. It would allow me to go and give talks and just part of the talk dedicated to sport because we just made them one element, so to speak. And so I think that talk was really based on these 4 principles. Mind you, when you talk for Google, you have to go through a whole host of people to make sure that your talk is approved. So this was very highly curated by them as well.
I'm very impressed by it, Luca. Very, very impressed. And
The feeling is mutual.
I love the fact that you have spoken on Google's platform, and I can only imagine I would have been nervous for that. And like you say, lots of planning must have gone into that as well to get approved, and lots of practice and preparation as well. But what I have taken from what you have just said as well, become a problem solver, and planning is key. Now, you do a lot of work for charity as well, lots of giving back. Can you share a little bit about that, Luca?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's pretty much part of our mission, like grow your income, grow your impact. And so at the moment, we are doing the easy work. At the moment, we are donating money. That's the easiest because we are busy dedicating our time to building this. And also because lockdown restrictions worldwide don't allow you to do much more. And so we donate 20% thereabout of our income to charity. And at the moment, we donate to two organizations that contribute to solving two of the 17 global goals. One is called CAMFED, Campaign for Female Education, and they allow girls in Africa to access education. And therefore, we are helping them to form the leaders of the future. The reason why that is important to us is because we are obsessed about equality. There shouldn't be any discrimination, nevertheless, gender. And the second is because women in these countries are deprived of an opportunity due to cultural and economic issues, which I think is very unfair. The second organization that we support is called Well Aware, and they build water wells in East Africa. And so we help them build wells to bring clean water to children. And I think so far in the last 4 months, in the last quarter, I think we brought enough water to about 350 to 400 children and their families. Mind you, in those regions, a child dies every 90 seconds because of lack of clean water. So, and of course that contributes to solving the poverty global goal. So these are the two organizations that we support. We also at times do giveaway. A couple of months ago, we did a £500, about $750 giveaway. We asked people on Facebook to give us their best ideas of what they would do with £500, and we just gave £500 away to the best idea. So we try to contribute as much as possible.
I think it's really, really important to give back. I myself am brand ambassador for Craig Shelley Beverly Hills Luxury Timepieces. I will actually connect you with him, Luca, because you have both similar values, and we're just doing lots for charity for water as well, to get people fresh drinking water. And as soon as you said that to me, I thought I must connect you with Craig, because you are both working on very, very similar charities. And it must give you so much satisfaction knowing that you're supporting people that are struggling or don't get the water that they need.
For sure, absolutely. They sent me a small letter written by one of these children, and it was just heartwarming. So yeah, absolutely.
So if there are any agencies or coaches watching today, which I'm sure there will be, what would your advice be to them if they're watching thinking, maybe I could do with a bit more time freedom, I'd like to grow my impact and my income, but maybe they're a little bit scared to reach out? What would your advice, what words do you have for them?
If you're scared to reach out to me, don't be. I'm the most down-to-earth person, 100% approachable. So now, and if you reach out to me, we'll give you 100% impartial advice. If it makes sense that we make an offer, we will. If it doesn't, then we won't. I care about my business, but what I care about first is to help people. I'm in an incredibly privileged position where we don't need to sell in order to survive. We're in a good position. Things come in organically. I just like to help people. So I like to be relentlessly helpful. The best place to reach out is on Facebook. I think that's what I live the most. I see there's my URL of my website. There is actually a blog, which is quite old. We're redoing a brand new website now, which will be live at lucasenatore.com/home in a couple of days or so. But reach out to me. If you Google my name, you'll find me. And like I said, helping you will be the first item on the agenda. If it makes sense, we'll tell you more about the program. If it doesn't, hopefully we just share a couple of tips.
That sounds like a win-win-win, Luca.
Of
My
course.
last question today, Luca, I really enjoyed having a conversation with you. Is there anything that I did not cover that you would like to share with our listeners and viewers today?
No, I think you did a great job, Mark. Unsurprisingly, I'd just like to add maybe because entrepreneurship can be a very lonely road, and you can feel that perhaps you struggle and you struggle alone. Most of people around you, including the loved ones, perhaps are on different journey, and you might easily come out like the odd one, and you're crazy and you should just get a job and whatever. These are things that are told by other people to us because they love us, but often they kind of hold us back. So I just like you to understand that you're not alone. It's a normal feeling. Surround yourself with people that elevate you. Understand that the only person who doesn't have imposter syndrome is an imposter. Yeah, we all wonder, when are we going to be found out? That's part of wanting to be better. And remember that all the skills and talent that you attribute to other people, they're not inborn. If you have people like mentors or peers that keep you within trajectory so that you don't stray too far out, the only other thing that you have to do to win is to stick at it. If you don't give up, your problems, your challenges, they will all give up if you don't.
You did just go quiet for the last little part of that, so I don't know whether you want to just repeat your last sentence.
Yeah, I think it's probably the only sentence I should have actually said from the beginning, which is, I'm truly convinced that for as long as you have guidance, your problems and challenges will definitely give up if you don't. So keep at it and surround yourself with people that elevate you.
Luca, thank you so much for your time today. Listeners, never, never give up. Get a great coach, get a great mentor, someone who has walked the walk and talked the talk, which is definitely Luca. He has built a great agency, great coaching and mentoring programs, but most importantly, his clients get results, and the proof is in the pudding. So do reach out to lucasenatore.co.uk. Luca, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Mark. It's been a pleasure. Until next time.
Thank you everyone for watching today. Remember, if you do have any last minute questions, type them into the comment section. Luca will come and answer them. I'll make sure of that. And if you would share the broadcast so we can get this out to as many people as possible, that would also be amazing as well. Thank you everyone for watching. Until next time, bye for now. Bye for now, everyone. Once I can turn off the broadcast. Bye for now.